Good evening. We are live. This is Dan and Faith coming to you from Charlestown, New Hampshire. And this week, as our song swapper of the week, we have with us Davey O from Buffalo, New York. Welcome, Davey.
Hello. Good to see you guys again.
And good to see you. It's been ages since we've crossed paths. Of course, it's been ages since we've crossed paths with anybody. But,
right. Yep, this is true.
At the moment,
I was thinking today that it's a good thing that this is a streaming concert and not a live concert in the sense of that I'm in the same room with people because I've consumed quite a bit of garlic today. So,
See, there's an advantage to online.
There is.
You can eat whatever you want beforehand, and you're not going to gas out the neighborhood.
This is right. So. Except that's a problem when you're wearing a mask and you got to breathe in.
Oh,
Ricola
is the word.
Yeah, a cough drop while you're wearing a mask.
I've not done that yet.
It gets you in the eyes.
It'll burn your eyeballs. It's kind of painful.
I just had a Ricola.
This is the voice of experience.
Very good.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm going to pop down one of the banners here as we get going here.
Yeah.
We are doing this series. It's about every other Wednesday. Ish. It depends how the calendar lands.
Yeah.
But we've been enjoying doing this and swapping songs with
friends around the country.
Songwriter friends around the country, and it's really a delight actually that we can one week have somebody in Buffalo and another time have somebody in Colorado or Texas or
even here in New Hampshire. We never know.
So
that's pretty amazing.
Fun. Yeah.
It is one of the bright spots in this time of mostly isolation. So, So at any rate, so we'll get started with a song that speaks to today, and we'll see you in a moment.
All right.
And I'm gonna pop down the. There's the one.
The one that's in blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes, it was just an absolutely gorgeous day here. And so I suggested we should start with this one.
A perfect summer morning. Air is crisp and sweet. Blue skies overhead. And people in the streets. This is why we live in New England. Why we put up with all the snow.
All that snow.
A perfect day in New England. Like nothing else we know. Winters are long, that certainly is true. Snuggle up together, ride those storms through. Soon enough winter winds give way to spring. That's when our hearts begin to sing. This is why we live in New England. Why we put up with all the snow.
Too much snow.
A perfect day in New England. It's like nothing else we know. Those dog days of summer, sticky and hot. Here those are rare, down south they are not. And when they have gone and passed us by, crisp air returns. Beneath clear skies, this is why we live in New England. Why we put up with all the snow.
Enough with the snow.
A perfect day in New England. It's like nothing else we know. Autumn brings bright colors, sets the hills ablaze. Fading light reminds us of coming shorter days. Harvest yields its bounty, always gently sigh. Another year is ending, passing us by. This is why we live in New England. Why we put up with all the snow.
No more snow.
A perfect day in New England. It's like nothing else we know. This land is warm and welcoming, as a sweet embrace could be. Winter storms bring sleepless nights, but that's okay with me. Sit by the fire on a chilly night. When we are together, all is right. And still we embrace New England. even when there's too much snow. For those perfect days in New England are the sweetest we'll ever know. Yes, those perfect days in New England, they're the sweetest we'll ever know. Yep. Here we go.
Of course, talking about too much snow to a Buffalo boy.
Haven't had that much. I live in a town called Amherst, so it's kind of northeast of Buffalo, of the city of Buffalo. So
Yep.
it's a little bit. We're in this weird spot between Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. So depending if we get a lake effect band, it all depends how it lines up. Some days, some winters we get socked, and some it's pretty mild. This winter was pretty mild.
Yay.
So since you started out with a song about your home environment, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do something off. I can't believe April 1st marked the 4-year anniversary since I released my last physical CD. And this is a song off that record. This is a song about being on the road a lot and missing home more than anything, having homesickness when you're out there, which you know what that's like. This is called To Buffalo. I'm going home now, I'm going home. I'm gonna follow that light up in the sky. I'll let this moonlit road lead me straight to your door. I'm going home, I'm going home. Well, I spend my days wandering this land, sometimes without a purpose or a plan, and sometimes so broke it seemed every word I spoke cost me more than I held in my hand. But I'm going home now, I'm going home, where the winter is long as it is cold, where the snow falls deep and silent on these streets. I'm going home, I'm going home. Well, I've never been one to understand all my thoughts that go to paper from this pen. Sometimes they flow like wine in harmony in time and leave me with a sense of wondering. But I'm going home now, I'm going home, to a place as familiar as can be, where the folks walking by always greet you with a smile. I'm going home, I'm going home. I am listening, my friend, and I'm wishing that this conversation didn't have to end. But it's time for me to make amends, and I hope to see you when I come back round here again. But I'm going home now, I'm going home. It is a long, long ride, that is for sure, but I'll take that wheel, and with every mile I'll heal. I'm going home, I'm going home, I'm going home, I'm going home.
Nice.
Thank you.
We
And
were
yeah,
we were adding harmonies at this end, of course. But
Oh,
that's the only downside to doing these over the internet and not in person.
Yeah.
this is the first time I've actually played a gig since August of last year.
Wow.
Last time I did a gig was at a little cafe not too far from where I live, and it, because of COVID, but as and I don't know how it is in New Hampshire, but they've kind of like rolled certain percentages of people can go out, and certain amount of staff, and so many people at a table and all that, and I had a lot of friends that simply would not come out because of the COVID. So I'm not taking the risk. I'm not sitting in a room with other people. Yep. So that kind of stuff has put a damper on for me, anyways. For playing live music for a while.
Well, and we don't want to be out bringing people together, potentially getting folks too close together.
Right.
Because if somebody were to end up getting COVID and
because of your gig,
because of our gig, we would be just horrified.
Right.
So.
And I totally get the need to play music and on this and attend music shows, but I'm okay with being patient. And it's not like right now it's not like I don't I get enough hours at work right now, so I'm able to no, I'm not starving. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people there's a lot of people out there that their lone source of their income is music, and they got hit the hardest. So if they want to take the gigs and get them and take that risk, I'm happy for them to let them do that. So I'll sit back in the wings for now.
Pretty much.
Yep. So similar idea at our end, and we'll see where things go. But and I've booked a few, one or two outdoor things, but that's and they're still out of ways. So
I just got an email.
I'm not pushing it.
I had to inquire. I was supposed to play a gig a house concert in Illinois in June, and I reached out to them because it's only a couple of months away, and I just wanted to make sure everything was still on, just in case I needed to try to drum up some kind of routing date, but they're going to reschedule. We just don't know when.
Yep.
I do have to say something though before you guys start your next song.
Yep.
I did get the all day long as I was doing stuff around the house and doing errands and stuff, and when I got home and started getting dinner ready and everything for Sheila and I started getting the gig anticipation feeling. It's like, I'm gonna get to play some songs tonight. This is gonna be cool.
Yeah.
So it felt good, and that in turn made me miss playing. I realized how much I miss. There's a lot of nonsense that goes along with it, all the business side, but that I don't really necessarily miss, and a lot of driving and being away from home that I've gotten accustomed to being at home all the time. So that's kind of been nice, but I miss actually playing my songs for people. So
having the audience there instead of through that little dot at the top of the screen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And trying to keep up with
nothing,
comments.
So
yes, it is. Yes.
So
So have at it. Take your next turn.
Cut him off in mid-sentence.
Sorry about that.
All
right. This starts there.
Yep.
Yeah. Be kind.
Be kind.
Try to help.
Try to help.
Speak your mind.
Speak your mind.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
The road is yours to make. Twists and turns, luck or fate. Don't sit home and watch TV. Get out, see the scenery. All roads lead back to the highway. Winding paths, country lanes, given time, all look the same. New places to explore, time to open up new doors. And be kind.
Be kind.
Try to help.
Try to help.
Speak your mind.
Speak your mind.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
The road is yours to make. Twists and turns, luck or fate. Don't sit home and watch TV. Get out, see the scenery. All roads lead back to the highway. Take a walk, ride your bike, a gentle stroll, a mountain hike. The path you chose led you here. Embrace all you hold dear and be kind.
Be kind.
Try to help.
Try to help.
Speak your mind.
Speak your mind.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
The road is yours to make. Twist and turns, luck or fate. Don't sit home and watch TV. Get out, see the scenery. All roads lead back to the highway. Birds in flight, soaring high, carving paths across the sky, in big flocks or all alone. The choice, their very own. Though we wander, we're not lost. Savor freedom, not its cost. In the end, leaves must fall. In one last curtain call. So be kind.
Be kind.
Try to help.
Try to help.
Speak your mind.
Speak your mind.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
The road is yours to make. Twists and turns, luck or fate. Don't sit home and watch TV. Get out, see the scenery. All roads lead back to the highway. All roads lead back.
Oh, that was great. I'm sorry I had to step out for a bathroom break real fast. Sorry.
It's okay.
That's allowed.
So I just wanted to make you aware of something. So Sheila just messaged me on Facebook and said that she clicked on the link in the event page on Facebook and it will not open and allow her
Lovely.
to watch the show.
While you're playing, I'll see if I can do something about that.
Yep.
I just wanted to make. She's told me to let you know. So
I'll put the YouTube link in there. Facebook is being really annoying this week.
Okay. So. Yeah. Yeah. Facebook has been kind of weird in general, I guess, with people trying to have live music streams.
Yes.
Yep.
Even so far as I guess they gave people a hard time about playing anybody else's material. So.
Yep.
I don't know what to say. I wish I didn't have to be on Facebook sometimes, but
Yep.
Yep.
I cleared out I cleared about 60 people off my friends list today. I just went through and I was like, I don't know this person. I haven't seen this person. Oh, well, yeah, here we go.
Oh,
So my
Heidi
friend
Ann's got a
Heidi
couple of
Ann
times
just
to
it
get
took
in.
me a couple of times to get in. So she's in. Okay,
All right.
there we go. Okay.
But we will.
Hi,
actually
Heidi.
Post the, we will post the YouTube link over there. Just in
All
case.
right. Sounds good. We'll get these technical difficulties straightened out. There's always technical difficulties with these things, it seems. But
Take it away.
all right. So I'm gonna do a new song. I wrote this song a couple months ago, and when I wrote this song, it kind of seemed like a very cliche song to write. The song's called Heartbreak Town, and even the title seems kind of cliche. But I kind of grew up in a little village I called Sloan, New York, which borders the city of Buffalo, and there's railroad tracks running on the north and south ends of the town. And when I was growing up, there's probably, for as small of a town as it was, just a few thousand people, a little village that it was, it had two churches, a Catholic church and a Presbyterian church, and probably about 12 different what my dad would call a gin mill, which is a bar, restaurant, and there were literally men that would go. Most of the people that worked in that town were factory workers. They either worked in production in some kind of facility, whether it was General Motors or some kind of food production, or they worked in the Bethlehem Steel Plant, which was located south of Buffalo. So there were people that lived in my town that were known for literally going to the bar on Friday night and drinking their paycheck away. And so when I wrote this song, I had an idea of the imagery of what I wanted to come across. And when I posted the song on SoundCloud, I wanted a little picture to accompany the track, and I found a picture of a downtown shot of a town called Braddock, PA, and with a factory in the distance with the smokestacks, and looking pretty run down. Not to pick on Braddock, PA. There's a lot of little towns like this around the country where people used to, they're trapped and there's no way out. It seems that their grandfather worked for the mill, their father worked for the mill, they're going to work for the mill. And that's kind of what this song is about. And it's called Heartbreak Town. Somebody must have let you down on the main streets of this heartbreak town. You hear the same old talk and the same old sounds. Everybody wants out of this heartbreak town. This heartbreak town. You can't keep anything a secret round here. A rumor never has to travel too far. You drown every last sorrow in whiskey and beer. Half your paycheck goes to your bar. Somebody must have let you down on the main streets of this heartbreak town. You hear the same old talk and the same old sounds. Everybody wants out of this heartbreak town. This heartbreak town. Every Sunday you were taught to believe hard work and faith is all you'll ever need. But after 30 years down at the factory, you look around, no one ever leaves. Somebody must have let you down on the main streets of this heartbreak town. You hear the same old talk and the same old sounds. Everybody wants out of this heartbreak town. This heartbreak town. Well, nothing comes easy and nothing comes free. You can't even buy an ounce of your dignity. You get a little ahead, then fall a lot behind. After you swore up and down you'd never cross that line. You thought by now you'd be a married man. You're only wedded to the bottle in your hand. When you were young you swore you'd take that back and never see this place again. Some Somebody must have let you down on the main streets of this heartbreak town. You hear the same old talk and the same old sounds. Nobody gets out of this heartbreak town. This heartbreak town.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I like it.
So Faith's father did the books for all the little gin mills up along the lake.
And that's exactly what he called them.
He was
Where are you from originally?
I grew up in Cooperstown.
Oh, in Cooperstown. Okay.
Yep, and my father was a mobile accountant, went up through the Watertown area, up along the edge of the Tug Hill Plateau, and did the books for every little gin mill and hotel and
did their books, did their payroll.
Yeah.
In later years, I wrote some software for him so that he could do it more easily.
I don't know how it was in Cooperstown, but as an addendum to that story, and I don't know if it still happens, but I remember for a while I lived in a section of the city of Buffalo, and I used to have to catch a bus on the corner of this street about a block away to get to work in the morning. And I would pass by a bar on my way, and there would be guys sitting there that worked the overnight shift, and they'd be in there having a couple of beers and whiskey and stuff, and after working all night. And
Yep.
what a life,
Yeah.
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 So.
And my dad actually grew up in Buffalo. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So we have a connection. See.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep, my
have
grandmother
to-
came from the old country and settled in Buffalo, and she actually ran a boarding house on Ontario Street.
Do you have
for-
Polish roots by any chance?
Welsh?
Welsh. Okay.
Very Welsh.
Yeah, there are no Polish on me. Polish is his family.
Yeah, well,
Oh, okay.
Jewish, but yeah,
Yeah,
they came from Poland.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, and if you know of any, Williamses or Hugheses or Joneses or Pritchards or anything like that, I'm probably
Okay.
related to them. So,
All right.
So, Faith picked up a song for us to do next,
and we did put out the YouTube link on
yeah,
all the
I
places we could think
stuck
of.
that out. a
Yeah,
number
I
of
see.
Facebook
I
places.
see. We got one person commenting. My friend Heidi.
Yep.
Yep, and people will find it afterward if need be. So
Yeah.
I played it at her house once. She lives down near Chautauqua Lake, which is a beautiful
Nice.
area.
Yeah.
yeah, we've been down to that area.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about the gin mills as one of the gathering places in small towns, and this song is about one of the other common places to gather in a small town, which is the general store.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so this takes place in a general store. I loosely based it around the town of Beckett, Massachusetts, where we have a cabin my dad built when I was 2 years old. But it's really about any general store in the country.
And any little town in the country that has a general store.
So this is called Sleepy Town. At the general store you can get doghouse roses and cigarettes, rods and reels and fishing nets, movie rentals and snacks for pets. In this sleepy little town, in this sleepy little town, this old town that time forgot, with its winding roads and flower pots, neighbors who never lock their doors, but the trains don't stop here anymore. At the general store it all goes down, social hub of this small town, where the gossip goes around and policeman makes his daily rounds. In this sleepy little little town, in this sleepy little town, this old town the time forgot, with its winding roads and flower pots, neighbors who never lock their doors, but the trains don't stop here anymore. At the general store you'll find it all, snowshoes hanging from the wall, gas your car, brakes for fall, what you need though it's no mall. In this sleepy little town, in this sleepy little town, highway went by years ago, factory moved to Mexico, quarries closed and the motel too, quiet settles like the morning dew. But the general store has closed its doors, dust collects on creaking floors, can't shop in this town no more, and we don't know what's in store for this sleepy little town, for this sleepy little town, this old town the time forgot, with its winding roads and flower pots, neighbors who never lock their doors, but the trains don't stop here anymore. In this sleepy little town.
Yeah.
Try not to
Childhood
clap
memories
too
of the
loud.
general store.
That's really cool when you can go into those. There's a place in South. Have you ever been to East Aurora, New York?
A lot of years ago, yeah.
Did you stop at Vidler's?
I have no idea. I was little person at the time.
Vidler's is I think both of the brothers have passed away, but Vidler's is like a five and dime, and but it's huge. It's got multiple floors to it, and it's really cool. It's some place you have to go if you get into the Buffalo area. It's sometimes it's a really cool place.
Yeah, the general store in Beckett. My story for the general store there was running into Arlo Guthrie in the store.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
He lives in the next town over.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he lives, actually, Sarah Lee and Johnny live about 100 yards from where the store used to be.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, cool.
yeah, they're the locals.
This is in Vermont or New Hampshire?
That's in Massachusetts. That's in the
Oh,
Berkshires.
Massachusetts. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh, cool. All right, I'm gonna go back to the Bright Horizon Line album that celebrated its 4th anniversary on April 1st, and do a little number that features Tracy Grammer on it and Pat Wichter on dobro. Tracy Grammer was kind enough to sing background vocals, and Pat was kind enough to play the dobro. And I guess this is a song that is really about having a nice day like today in Buffalo, where it's almost 70 degrees, and being able to drive around with your top down and or your windows open and listen to your favorite song, and feeling like nothing could go wrong. Out here where the sky meets the road, the years keep rolling like the wheels that take you home, drawn toward a bright horizon line. It ain't hard to look ahead when there's nothing in your past to leave behind. Courage comes in many different ways. It can be the tears that foam a pool and nothing left to say. But in the silence you must remain strong, surrounded by the walls of thought and wanting to belong, to belong. Oh. But these are times when it seems the world is pushing us along. These are times to get lost inside an old familiar song. Watch the trees sway gently on along. At times it seems like nothing could go wrong. And I suppose that we could disappear a while, free of superstition and denial. We'll throw our rope around the moon between the drops of rain and hope the hard times never come again. Well, out here where the sky meets the road, you can hear the whispers of the ones who've gone before, spoken with the wisdom you can't buy. It's something you will need when you start running out of exit signs. These are times when it seems the world is pushing us along. These are times to get lost inside an old familiar song. Watch the trees sway gently on the lawn. At times it seems like nothing. At times it seems like nothing. At times it seems like nothing could go wrong. Oh, 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 nothing could go.
Ooh, leaving it hanging.
Yeah. Oh, we did one that
Yes,
did that.
unresolved,
Yeah.
unresolved
Sometimes
chord,
that's
right?
Yeah.
sometimes that's where the songs don't resolve. So
We're at a hootenanny or song circle or whatever at Dreamaway Lodge one night
out and back at
out
Mass,
back at Mass, and we played
Four Strong Winds,
Four Strong Winds. You know,
Oh,
Ian and
yeah,
Sylvia.
yeah.
and that doesn't resolve. 'Cause
That one, ends basically, leaving you hanging. And this guy across the circle from us, as we finished the thing up, looked over for us and said, "Resolve it, damn it!"
it's like the story doesn't resolve.
It's like,
so
sorry, it's not our song.
I'm sure there's a lot of songwriting. I'm reading Tunesmith right now by Jimmy Webb, and I have to admit I was reading it yesterday. I fell asleep while I was reading it. But it's a little wordy at times. But there's a lot of people that teach songwriting classes and things like that, and I'm sure that they'd give me a little bit of guff for not resolving that chord at the end. So, hi Michelle, good to see you.
Well, it's the sort of thing. If the song and the story in the song needs that lack of resolution, then it's the right thing.
Yeah.
Where- Jack
I think it
Williams-
kind of fits with the title. Nothing could go wrong, and then at the end, you don't
Yeah.
finish it the way everybody expects it to. So maybe something
Yep.
did go wrong. You know.
Oh, and it totally fits. So it was cool.
So we thought we would do a road song that we normally play in our
Cool.
gigs when we're out on the road.
Yeah.
This is one of Faith's songs called "Looking for the Road Less Traveled."
And for the longest time, it was kind of our signature song, but we haven't been on the road in a while. So.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Ready?
Riding down the highway with 1,000 other cars, traveling a route that everybody runs. I'm tired of watching brake lights, the bumper up ahead. I'm looking for a road less traveled. Everybody says you gotta get there faster. Doesn't matter who you run off the road. Don't care about destination. The journey is the key. I'm looking for a road less traveled. Take it easy on the road less traveled. Take it nice and slow. No competition, no fighting for position. It's the better way to go. Take me to the back road, find a slower life. Trade exhaust fumes for fresher air. I've broken down far too many times in my life. I'm looking for a road less traveled. Take it easy on the road less traveled. Take it nice and slow. No competition, no fighting for position. It's the better way to go. Anywhere it takes me, big city or the desert, as long as it's quiet and I'm mostly on my own. Even if it finally leads me back to the highway, I'm looking for a road less traveled. Take it easy on the road less traveled. Take it nice and slow. No competition, no fighting for position. It's the better way to go. Already too much traffic in my life. Too many lanes, too many choices. I need another path, even if it leads me nowhere. I'm looking for a road less traveled. Take it easy on the road less traveled. Take it nice and slow. No competition, no fighting for position. It's the better way to go. It's the better way to go. Yeah.
Those are some low tones, Dan. Wow.
That's not all the way down, but that's close. I sang second bass in high school in the All City Chorus in New York. So
Ah,
these days
That's
it's
a low-
more baritone.
that's awesome. I can't sing. I don't think that song "Heartbreak Town" I did earlier. That's probably the lowest I've ever.
Yeah.
When I recorded that song, I listened back to it. And it was a good thing I put higher harmonies on it because it kind of flushed it out a little bit. I'm gonna do another song off of A Bright Horizon Line, and it's kind of a travel song. But before I get to that, I just want to say hi to everybody that's joining us and thank them for doing so. It's good to be playing my songs for you again. There's some information scrolling along the bottom of the screen. I am accepting tips in my tip jar tonight, but I'm going to give it all to my local food bank.
And And same
'Cause
for us. Anything that people want to donate, just give it to Davey O's PayPal or Venmo, and it can all go out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I've been doing with my music lately is I also have, if you go on my website, daveo.com, and go on the store page of the website, I have a bunch of songs I've been recording over the last year or so since I upgraded my home studio. And I've been putting those songs up one a month, and all the money from that goes to Feed More Western New York. And then I also, last month, I released a new song just as a single that's separate from the Share Project album, I guess you'd call it, that I've been putting the songs up for the food bank. It's a song I co-wrote with Andy Renfrey, who's a lyricist from Nashville. We wrote it about 3 years ago after the Parkland High School shooting, and I finally recorded a version of it last month, and all the money from the sale of that single goes to Everytown for gun safety. So just trying to do some things with my music besides trying to make money for myself at it. And give back to the community a little bit and do some things for other people, and just try to be a good citizen, I guess. So this song I'm going to do is called "Making Good Time," and this song has an interesting story. I used to play with another person named Jeffrey Mikulski, and he and I met in college, and we became fast friends, and we kind of had our separate lives after college, and he got it. We were both bass players in the college and jazz ensemble, so that's how we met. But then we remained friends, and he got more into home recording and composing, the composing aspect of things. He did a lot of work for small theater and a couple of independent films he wrote some music for. And he would let me come over and record my songs at his home studio. And at one point we said, let's try playing together. So he had stopped playing bass as well, and so he played electric guitar and mandolin with me, and we tried it out on one gig at a small coffee shop, and we said, we sound really good together, so let's do this. And so the catch is that Jeff was in a wheelchair, and so he spent his entire life in a wheelchair, and but he had a very independent life. He drove his own van. But we started playing at coffee shops around Buffalo, and then eventually, about after a year of doing that, we got this bright idea to get out a map and see how far we could go in a day's drive. And before we knew it, we were playing in places like Rochester, New York, and Erie, Pennsylvania, and Corning, New York, and then in Cleveland, Ohio, and all over the Northeast. And eventually, we got our way down to Kentucky and Tennessee, all kinds of different places. And on one occasion, we were on our way to a gig in Erie. And when we were doing a lot of these gigs in our early days of touring, it was a long ways before things like a Garmin or Google Maps on a phone became a prevalent thing. So you'd have to print out a trip ticket or something from AAA or something like that, or go on MapQuest and get directions. And quite often the directions sometimes they'd be wrong, and sometimes if you just missed a turn with step-by-step directions, you know how hard it is to try to figure out how to get back onto the road and figure out which way you're supposed to be going. So on our way to this gig in Erie, PA, that happened, and it made us very late for our gig. So I was getting a little being a person that likes to be on time for things, I was getting really upset, and we were at a stoplight, and Jeff was driving the van, and I was getting a little freaked out about being late, and Jeff turned to me, and he had this incredible knack for sarcastic wit. He turned to me and said, "Would you calm down? We're hopelessly lost, but we're making good time." And that's how this song came into being. I borrowed that phrase, and every time I play this song, I like to dedicate it to Jeff's memory. He passed away about 6 years ago, and I miss him. He was like a brother to me. So this one's for you, Jeffrey. One of these days, I'm gonna step off this highway and stop running from my trouble. One of these days, I'm gonna find me a straight job. Whoa. I forgot the words, I'm sorry. Hold on, let me start that part over. One of these days, I'm gonna find me a straight job. There'll be no more trouble. 'Cause I've been walking down the line that keeps me in between the earthly and divine. I never calculate the cost of being hopelessly lost and making good time. One of these days, I'm gonna build us a new house, one without engine trouble. One of these days, I'm gonna buy me a new car, one without engine trouble. But I keep walking down the line that keeps me in between the earthly and divine. I never calculate the cost of being hopelessly lost, making good time. We don't need to pull over, 'cause there's some coffee in the holder, and I feel like I could go all night. But I don't wanna disappoint you, so tell me what you want when we're older. Just help me make it to daylight. To daylight. Na 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 na. One of these days, my eyes and ears will fail me, and my heart will give me trouble. One of these goddamn days, I won't be here to hold you and keep you safe from your trouble.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. Sorry for the faux pas.
It's okay.
You know, it's been a while since I mentioned earlier. I haven't played any kind of live music thing since August of last year.
Yeah.
Totally
And my
get
voice,
that.
I was worried about how my voice would hold up. We were talking before we went on. We're talking about we're both having this, springtime allergy. My throat is, it doesn't hurt. It tickles because there's,
Oh, God,
allergic,
yes.
pollen in the air, and it's so.
Yeah.
So it's tough to sing because right in the middle of a line, you feel this little tickle in your throat, and you're trying to get air to support the note, and it starts wavering on you,
And trying not to
so-
hack up a lung in the middle of doing
try
it.
not
Yeah.
to cough in the middle of a word, right? So
Yep.
Yeah.
it makes it difficult. So I'm drinking throat tea and water and trying to keep myself from.
Lemon and ginger.
Yeah, I'm already on my second pint of water for the show. So the first time
Hydration
that I
is
remember-
key.
First time I remember meeting you was at NERFA at
Right.
Hudson Valley Resort, and Jeffrey was with you.
Right.
So we were following your postings when he passed, and
Yeah.
so I was thinking about that. And this month is also 15 years, 16 years.
2000,
It'd be 15 years.
2006. So yeah, 15 years.
My dad passed away 15 years ago.
Oh,
and
my.
that was the event that got me to start writing. So this song is for him, but it's generic enough that.
Isn't
it
that
might
amazing how fast that time goes by?
Oh, I
Yeah.
know.
My father's been gone for 11 years, and my mom's been gone for 21 years. My mom died in 1999, so it's just amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
How fast time. Look how fast this year went by, right? Since
Well, and yet it was also about 5 years long.
At the same time,
it
was,
did, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very
It's a
weird.
five-year
In some ways
year.
it was fast. In some ways it was like didn't feel like
Forever.
it ever moved.
Yep.
So, because part of that's because we typically use our travel time as sort of a way to demark the
passing
seasons and
the
stuff.
months and
Right.
yeah. And when you haven't been anywhere since a year ago, February.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll do this one, and then I think we'll have you do one more, and we'll finish off the show that way.
Fantastic. This has been fun.
It is always a good time, and it's a chance for us to visit with you and hear some more of your songs and just share some connection.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we look at it as it's just, the three of us hanging around in the living room, sitting on the couch playing.
Right.
For
And,
each other, and people
I-
can watch.
It's on hiatus now because of COVID, but I had my songwriter series, Nickel City Sessions, and
Oh, we know.
unfortunately, when you played at it, I had tour dates scheduled that week, so I was in Michigan while you guys were. So our
missed a
cross
great show.
passed again, right?
Yeah.
But
I heard it was intimately attended.
It was, but we also had the whole night was 4-part harmony. It was
that's
just
good.
everybody jumped in on everybody's stuff, and it was just a magical night.
Good.
And I would play with those two guys again. It was Tom and Andrew Dunn.
Andrew
Tom
Dunn,
Callahan
yes.
and Andrew Dunn. And
It was a blast.
Tom's a great he does a lot of Irish stuff
Yep.
around here. So
Yeah, so we'll jump in with Quiet Moments. Ready?
yep.
We used to talk by telephone every couple days. A quick hello to tell me about places on the way. But that was then, this is now, don't know where you are. And the telephone doesn't reach that far. We used to go for walks along the old dirt road. Autumn leaves changing from green to red and gold. But that was then, this is now, I'm driving your old car. And I don't think the roads go that far. I miss your voice, miss your touch, miss the smiles that we shared. I miss the way you listened, always seemed to care. Through the years I've realized those quiet times alone, that's what it meant to come back home. We used to chat by email in your later days. You'd tell me about treatments and the price you had to pay. But that was then, this is now, you're just a distant star. And the internet doesn't reach that far. Precious times remembered, quiet moments shared. Life is a journey, but it isn't always fair. Everywhere I ramble, every song I sing reminds me of those days and simple things. I miss your voice, miss your touch, miss the smiles that we shared. I miss the way you listened, always seemed to care. Through the years I've realized those quiet times alone, that's what it meant to come back home. We used to talk by telephone every couple days. For my dad.
Dan, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I had to step out again for a second, but man, that was beautiful. It's tough to write a song about a parent, right?
It is, and I have written many. It took 5 years from the time he died until I wrote the song to let me say goodbye. It wasn't that one; it was a previous one. But
he shows up in a lot of Dan's songs.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of cool, actually.
I mean, it's kind of, now that you did that, it kind of makes me want to finish with Every Single Day, the song that I wrote for my dad. But I do that all the time, and in all my shows. And I kind of wanted to play a couple of new songs that are on my Share project.
that's fine.
Oh,
Thing.
please.
So, and once again, all the money from the Share project as well. If you download songs on the Share project, you can download individual songs, or you can download the whole album. It's pay what you want, and starting at 99 cents a song. And then there's the other song, the single Angels Everywhere, which I wrote with Andy Renfrey, which that money is going to Everytown for gun safety, and the Share project money is going to Feed More Western New York, as are all my tips from tonight. So I'm gonna finish tonight with a song that I wrote a couple years ago. It was when we did have a little bit of a little bit more of a lasting winter that year. It seemed like it got really, really cold, and that cold spell lasted for several weeks. I don't think we had a couple of weeks where the temperature really didn't get higher than 20 degrees, and I stumbled upon this little chord change, and it's kind of a jazzy chord. So when I recorded this, I felt it absolutely needed a piano part that could kind of enforce that chord change. So this is a song about longing and being stuck in the house during winter, and longing for a person that you miss, and longing because you can't get out of the house, and longing for a new season. There's a blanket of snow that has buried my soul in this winter that seems without end. If I had nowhere to go by the fireplace glow, I'd dream of springtime that's just round the bend. It's been weeks since I've seen the lawn. I wish these cold skies would move on. If If I should go out tonight into that world full of white, would I be able to find my way home? 'Cause it's a frightening thought if I should find myself caught in the teeth of a midwinter storm. It's been days since I've seen your face. The reward is worth every risk I would take. So I'll take this old car and get out of this place, past the smokestacks and their billowing waste, along a highway of these past mistakes that I drive. Well, there's a warm ray of sun, it shines upon everyone. It brings us all in from the cold, and it's your welcoming smile after the white knuckle miles have finally taken their toll. It's been so long since I felt this good, but now I'm finally out of the woods. Oh, there's a wind that will blow with a whisper and go. A new season arrives. Thank you.
All right.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're that,
That little jazzy turn is great.
and the imagery in that is way too familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't see the lawn from about the 1st of January until,
About 3 weeks ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're
It's,
up on, we're at 1,200 feet, and the storms,
oh,
the Lee of the Lakes snow actually makes it to us.
Somehow it sneaks through a couple of the mountain passes in Vermont, and there's a spot just north of us that gets dumped on, but we get a little fringe. And I grew up in Cooperstown, where we were sort of on the fringes of the lake
Right.
effect. And I was assuming that by moving to New England, I would get away from that, and I was apparently wrong.
well, you get nor'easter stuff too, right?
Oh,
we
yeah.
get those too.
Oh, those-
yeah.
So
those
that's
Those are usually particularly fun because the winds come out of the northwest with a lot of snow. We have a view to the northwest out over the Vermont mountains, and we can watch the storms come rolling toward us, and you can just see it's like, oh, that's about a half hour away. Oh, it's about 15 minutes away, and
There goes Mount Ascutney. It's almost here. Yeah.
I back in the late '80s, I was playing in this band, and we played in Ogdensburg, New York, which
way up
is
there. Yep.
way
Yep.
up near. So we played a weekend at this bar, and it was the only thing going on in town. So the bar was packed both nights.
Yep.
But the owner of the bar had a cabin. He had his house, and then he had a cabin on the St. Lawrence River, and he let us stay. The whole band stayed, and our crew stayed in the cabin.
Nice.
And he, while we were playing the first night, we got done playing. We got out to go to our cars, and about 2.5 feet of snow had fallen while we were playing. So we drove back up, got up to the cabin, and we all woke up the next day. We're making breakfast, and the sun is shining, but across the river was Ottawa, and you could see. You could watch the clouds coming across the river towards us, and the whole snow cycle started again. But the place was packed both nights because there's a little, Ogdensburg isn't like the biggest place
isn't
to
that
live
where
in the
we
world.
crossed back into the U.S.?
Yes.
Yeah, the last time we drove across Canada, we crossed the bridge into Ogdensburg, coming back.
Okay, from Ottawa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or near Ottawa, right?
Near Ottawa. Yeah. We had originally planned on driving all the way over to Montreal and coming down through Vermont, but what we discovered was none of our cell coverage for data
Was functional.
was
So
functional.
Yeah,
Canada
you
for
can't
much
in
more than
Canada.
about
As
3
soon as you
hours.
cross over the border, you get
Yeah.
a warning, right?
well,
Yeah,
we
so-
had a plan that was supposed to work up there, and it didn't.
Oh, it worked great for about 3 hours in the morning.
Yeah.
Once
But-
again,
That's
I would
it.
just like to, I'd like to thank you guys. This has been great. I thank you for the invitation. I needed this. I needed to play my songs again.
Yeah.
And I need to hear other people play their songs again. And I needed some camaraderie with friends. And
And we know you love doing the in the round shows, and that's
I do love that
That's a-
format.
that's the format we like the most. So this has been just a great evening, and we really appreciate you joining us
Yeah.
for it.
Yep.
And thank you to everybody who tuned in. And don't forget about the tip jar thing. I will gladly.
Yes.
I'm happy to donate. I'm doing okay. I have a full-time job and at Guitar Center, and I'm working almost full-time hours, and it's not like I'm living in a cardboard box out on the street somewhere. So I'm doing okay.
Yep.
And,
But there are folks out there who need the food.
who are.
And
Yeah, and you know,
that's
one of the
what this is
biggest things that I found out in donating to Feed More Western New York on a regular basis is that ever since this pandemic hit and people have been out of work and have been on unemployment, their services have been taxed heavily. And they used to just be called the Food Bank of Western New York, and then they combined with Meals on Wheels, so now they're called Feed More Western. So they have that aspect of it too that they take care of as Meals on Wheels, where they go around and deliver food to people and that are older and can't get out of the house, and so their services are in heavy requirement, right? Even under normal circumstances. So.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hi,
we've seen
Peter.
that with the food banks up here. The they call them food shelves, but
Yeah, our local food shelf, the fellow who runs it said that they're servicing twice the families this year that they did last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
a lot of folks hurt.
Wow. So that's that's going to help. And I feel
Great.
very I don't feel bad about taking that money and just moving it onto there and not into my bank account. It feels I got plenty of food and plenty of good shelter and a reliable car, and I'm okay. So it's good to give back to somebody else that needs it more than I do.
Great.
Well, I think at this point we'll say goodnight to the folks. And
Good night, everybody.
Thanks to everybody who tuned in, and thanks to everybody who tunes in later. One of the advantages with the online is we can leave the shows up, and so I hope.
And
more
stay
folks
safe.
will find
Wear
us
your
and-
mask. Do all the things they're asking. Because
Get your vaccination.
get the vaccination, because the sooner we do all this stuff, the sooner we'll actually be in the same room doing this.
And we can do this live with people.
Right.
and add harmonies.
And add harmonies.
And add harmonies.
And play bass. And yes, exactly. So
So-
we're one shot down. We've got
Me
one more
too.
to go.
I am going next Tuesday for my second shot. So,
Excellent.
All right.
so
So take
have
care,
a good
everybody.
night, everybody.
Good
Bye
night.
bye.
Good night all.
Bye bye.